What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of our new podcast. We've done podcasts before, and they've kind of been sporadic. So we're starting just full speed going into the podcast now. You'll have to help us come up with a name for it. It could just be the Cosmic Wonder Podcast. It could be
simple.
I've thought about
Wondercast.
I've thought about Pop Talk because we're going to not just talk about Marvel and DC, but anything that's happening right now. Yeah, and we're going to get interactive with y'all. In this segment, we actually have some input from some subscribers and some people on our Discord. We do have a Discord. We'll link that. We're hoping to get the community involved. If you're new, my name's Warren or Cosmic. With me is Chris. You can also call him Cosmic Chris if you want. That's another CC. Chris, CC.
That is another
Cosmic
CC.
Chris, Cosmic Culture, Cosmic Crew. We're also gonna have to have a fandom name or a community name for us, and it could be Cosmic Crew, which is something we asked on our live once. People really liked Cosmic Fams. What'd you say?
Cosmonauts.
And then once upon a time, I think we had like the Wolf Pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we say Wolf.
Long time back when you were like streaming games.
Yeah,
and stuff,
so maybe like the Wolf Pack. I don't know. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. There's a lot to talk about today. We're going to dive into some Spider-Man stuff pretty soon. It looks like Sadie Sink really might be playing Gwen because it looks like she might have been spotted on set. Blonde, which typically, it wouldn't be the first time Marvel took a redhead and made her, a blonde character.
It would be the third time, actually.
Yeah. But there's a lot of cool theories I want to get into today, too. But right away, I want to start off with, because there seems to be this just rhetoric conversation that just comes and goes so often, I feel. So, Chris, it's the classic conversation of is Marvel dead? Are superhero movies dead? Is DC dead? Right now all the talk's like, oh, they're not hitting 1 billion. They're hitting like 500,000, 600,000. And I've seen so many YouTube videos that are like, are superhero movies dead now? Like, are people just tired of superhero movies? And then you have people like, oh, James Gunn says, it's not superhero fatigue. It's mediocre fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
But then you have people going against that. Like, no, it's superhero fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
I have my thoughts, but I want you to start it off.
Well, I think that's such a good topic for the first episode. Right. Because this is rambling time. And you and I, over the several last years, have spent so much time talking to people in the community, right? The community. Like, what is the community? The people who watch superhero movies. And that ranges from people who watch every single YouTube video about Marvel and every single movie and every single minute, all the way to the people that just jump in for the Avengers and dip back out. Like, it's a massive community of people with a lot of opinions.
Right.
And I think that when you're talking about superhero fatigue, the issue isn't personally believe from all the discussions and my own understanding and talking to people who follow and don't follow, it's mediocre. It's people don't want to watch bad CGI, bad acting, casting a person just because they're a famous name, which I think is actually one of their biggest problems right now. And overall, nobody wants to watch. Exactly. I mean, it messes up the budget. It's kind of separating. The best part of the original Infinity Saga was the castings where, like, those characters became Iron Man, became Captain America, where it's like Pedro Pascal was really good, but he's still just Pedro Pascal. He's not Mr. Fantastic. Right? Like, you can't blur those lines. And I think there's so many different elements between COVID, actor strike, writer strike, AI, Disney pushing Marvel to carry the entire company on its back. Like, so many different things that really did go wrong in the last 4 or 5 years, that it's hard for anybody to go, oh man, they put out a movie that was supposed to change everything and it didn't. Like, it's going to take as much time as it took to break everything to build it back up.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's a great point. I do like what you said about Pedro Pascal. I'm not one of those people who I'm tired of Pedro Pascal. I'm not one of those people. I'm fine with Pedro Pascal. I think he's very talented. I think Disney is really riding on him being successful.
Likes him. He really likes Pedro Pascal.
Grogu, Reed Richards, I think they're really relying on him to be successful. But it is true what you said, like, because if you think Robert Downey Jr., I think you automatically think Iron Man. Maybe that changes to Doom after Doomsday and Secret Wars. You think Doom, who knows? You'll probably think both. You think
I
Chris
doubt
Evans?
it.
You think Captain America? Scarlett Johansson's been in a lot, but for me, I think Black Widow. And same thing with Tom Holland. Who he's been in a decent amount of films, but he's Spider-Man to everybody, right? You know what I mean? I don't think anyone thinks he's was it Nathan Drake? I think is his name from Uncharted. I think.
Oh yeah, from
Right?
Uncharted.
If that's wrong, I apologize to everybody. But like that's what I don't even remember. You know what I mean? So it's like I know he's Peter Parker. I know he's Spider-Man. Granted, he's done many movies and Avengers movies as well. But there used to be a time where these movies did make people. And I do like that because it's like you said, I just see Pedro Pascal. I think he did a really good job as Mr. Fantastic, but I just see Pedro. So I do think there needs to be a line. And it works for some people. Like Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in every movie pretty much, right? You know what I mean? But I think his personality for the roles he takes on really actually works.
Well, they write the movie around Ryan Reynolds, right?
Right, exactly, right, yeah. Well, like The Rock,
Same thing.
who The Rock's going to be. He's going to be The Rock every time, right? You know what I mean? But for Pedro, it's like, it's not, he hasn't, I mean, he's been around for a while. He's done a lot of acting, but I think like his fame is not nearly as big as the other two. It's probably getting there right now, but
yeah, probably,
but it hasn't been as big. So I don't know. I think he did a great job as Reed. I think he's going to continue to do a great job, but I think moving forward, Marvel should cast the newer actors, like we've heard they're going to do for the X-Men. So I'm happy about that. But, everybody who says it's done, it's not done. And here's the argument. Well, they just released 2 good movies, The Thunderbolts and The Fantastic Four. And I know you love The Fantastic Four. You told me no notes when you saw it. And your wife loved it.
No notes.
Alley Cat loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like...
She stayed awake.
She fell asleep in Avengers Endgame, like the first time we watched it. Not just like a random time watching.
Not just a casual sleep.
The first time, sold out theater, crazy, fell asleep. Because it's just... I mean, she got a lot more into it as like time went by, right?
But she's a very casual fan.
She's a casual fan, right? Yeah. Like she loves cosplay and stuff like that. She actually does love the characters, but the movies are like so different for her because she falls asleep in movies. She loved the Fantastic Four. So the conversation is like, if the MCU had 2 back-to-back bangers, like quality-wise, what fans think of them, but they flopped. We don't really know what numbers Marvel needs to break even. We don't know.
Yeah, they just have this like, if it doesn't hit $1 billion, it's a failure at this point because they've had so many hit $1 billion.
Right, but here's the thing. Like they did give us some misses, right? And that's the issue is they did deliver some pretty mid movies for a while. In the midst of those was bad movies and great movies. But it's like the majority or like the average of it was pretty mid. So that gets the casual audience uninvested, right? They're not excited anymore because they're like, well, now I'm used to Marvel being bad. So, or not bad, but mid. I'm used to Marvel being mid. So they're not going to fork out the money. And it is like a lot of money now to go to the theaters, especially if, there's like 2, 3, 4, if you have kids, it's like, it could be a lot of money. Popcorn. I mean, where's my Galactus popcorn bucket right here?
Yeah.
Right here. Sorry for the audio listeners, but that giant 18-inch Galactus bucket, I think it was like $80, right? And for me, it's a business expense, so I got Galactus and Herbie.
But for everybody else,
I got Galactus and Herbie here, right? So, but stuff like that, it's just really expensive nowadays. So if you
so you have to be pretty choosy with what movies you're going to go see because I still think people enjoy going to the theaters. I mean, the Minecraft movie came out and the theaters were full for like several weeks.
Well, no, really.
But that's because that was worth the money, and that had nothing to do with the Minecraft movie was great. Like realistically, it was a mediocre movie, but people had fun.
What are you talking about? It was great. No.
But I mean, like
the
compare
Minecraft.
cinema.
I love the Minecraft movie.
I think the cinema value of it was mediocre. Yeah, but realistically, like call it what it is. Like, do I need to have this big blockbuster movie to have fun? No,
right.
And that was always the argument. Exactly that quote. Like, are you Martin Scorsese? Like, yeah. Superhero movies are movies. Like, they don't. It doesn't need to be cinema. First off, it is. Second,
I consider it.
It's about having fun. And I think the biggest problem isn't we're tired of superheroes. It's It's just we're not having that much fun right now.
I think
for whatever reason.
I thought that the other day, actually. I thought that the other day because I was like, we just need to go into a movie and just have some fun, because that's how I felt with Superman. Yes, you can nitpick that movie. Yes, you can. But everything. You know what? Overall, I went I've seen it 4 times, maybe more. I can't recall. I've seen it 4 times at least. Each time I'm like, that's a ton of fun. That's just a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that. And I love
I think that's the element that's most missing.
Right, and I love the Thunderbolts, but I can see how general audiences are like, well, I didn't come to watch this Marvel movie for a self-help lesson or fighting depression. I'm trying to get away from that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's people I'm trying to get away from depression. This movie is, don't get me wrong, it uplifts you, right? Everyone comes together at the end and they help each other, but it's just kind of you could see how some people might not want that. They just want the fun. But the biggest thing to me is everything comes to streaming super quickly now. Superman's you're about to be able to buy Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't been in the theaters that long. So if you're just used to mid projects and it's a lot of money to go to the movies and it's gonna come to streaming pretty soon after, the stuff that
what you're already
anticipate is going to be mid, you are going to wait to watch on streaming, right? That's what's gonna happen. But then this is where I think the tide turns. Once Marvel does start to produce enough high quality content, the people who do wait for that high quality content and they get it on streaming, they go, oh, Thunderbolts was good. Oh, Fantastic Four was good. Oh, the next one, you know what? It's probably going to be good. Or maybe it takes one more. But it will change with Spider-Man. It'll change with Spider-Man. Arguably the most popular superhero of all time. Right, you can argue about Batman, Superman.
I would almost say not even arguably. I would honestly say not even arguably. I would die on that hill. I think I would die on that. I personally would die on that hill.
Of all time?
I think so. I think I'm dying on that hill. Well, always, for the last several years, I've said it's Batman or Spider-Man. I've always said that, but I think I've officially decided it's Spider-Man. That's my decision, everybody. So that's.
So I don't care. You think it's just between Batman and Batman and Spider-Man? You don't even throw Supes in there?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Really?
I don't personally, I personally think it's got to be Batman or Spider-Man, and I think I'm officially swayed into it's Spider-Man's. The amount those pictures.
I think so
from
too.
the
dude.
Sets,
the pictures hit so hard.
Crazy,
oh my gosh, man!
It is the craziest thing I've seen.
Right before we started, I just saved one on my phone because I was like, "That you heard?" I was like, "That's dope."
It's and I think
crazy.
Sony and Disney are planning that. I think that's why they did the early reveal.
The Spidey and Friends and stuff like that. They have Ghost Spider Miles on there. My nephew who's 3 loves it, right? It's my niece who's 2, she loves them all, right? Because she has
my introduction to comics was Spider-Man. Spider-Man for a lot of people is that entry level, that gateway superhero, and for a lot of people, I think that carries a nostalgia, and not a trick word, nostalgia in a movie, a real core memory unlocked nostalgia. Even now, I edit for the Cosmic One every single day, and I'll go and I'll look at certain comic pictures to add to the videos, and every now and then I'll just see one comic version that just really hits me, and it's man, that was the style of comics that got me into superheroes. And then I'll go and throw it in the video. And I think everybody has that feeling, and I think Superman specific, I said it again, Spider-Man specifically, 8 times out of 10 is that character that kind of hits you in the gut, and you're like, man, I remember being 6. That was way better than now.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, yeah. What's funny is every now and then you come across a comic strip, and you're like, dang. I was reading the other day, and then I saw something online. I was like, oh yeah, that was a good story, and I just kind of went through real quick, and then I stopped because oh, this was an incredible part where I don't really remember it fully. The words, that is, but it was basically where it was Civil War II, I believe, one of the Civil Wars, and Thor is pissed off because Iron Man cloned him, Tony Stark, everything like that, and then Stark comes to confront him, and Thor's just really pissed off, and Iron Man thinks he could take him, but he's just I've never really shown you my full power, and he just wipes the floor with him, and I'm like, Thor's so cool. Oh man, it's just every now and then you come across a comic and you're just dang, that hits hard. But yeah, Spider-Man has a lot because he's just He is really popular. So that's why I think the tides change. They turn with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Especially because, I mean, dang, they've been doing it. Like, this is all very intentional marketing, letting the fans on set and everything like that take pictures. Like, and it's working. It's working
big time.
It is working big time. I mean, I'm hyped. And you know what's crazy to me? This is what's crazy to me. We've all seen No Way Home at this point in time. Almost did $2 billion, right? Like 1.92 or something, 1.93. People are saying this movie can be bigger than it, which is crazy to me. That's like, it's crazy to me that people are saying that.
But like, a lot of people are saying it.
That shows you how well just fan photos from the set are doing, combined with what they've done.
And I think it's brilliant. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And we're getting into a new era. And I think really, starting with Fantastic Four, we see it a little bit with Superman, but mostly like Fantastic Four, they started marketing differently. And then I'm a little disappointed in Marvel because at the end, I think they chickened out and they did their let's release a new TV spot every day and do what we used to do. But the new marketing, like, hey, let's create this Instagram page that thinks it's part of the world, and it's like,
that was so
this
clever.
multiverse.
Yeah.
Like they've done a lot of stuff. They did a lot of stuff like that, and it was different, and it was like a little fresh. Again, as people who analyze and are looking for this every day,
Right.
I really want them to stop putting out these TV spots every day leading up 30 days to the movie. And yeah, they do a good job topping it up so it's only like the first 20 minutes of the movie. But I think it stales it out a little bit. Like we're opening up the bag of chips a little early, and then by the time it's time to eat it, it is a little stale. Like that excitement's kind of worn off a little bit. But I think with Sony and Disney on this Spider-Man movie specifically, they're doing a really good job freshening up the marketing, the modern day marketing or guerrilla warfare marketing, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't exist yet. We can call it whatever we want.
Guerrilla warfare.
But it's brilliant. And I hope, and I really hope that they continue to nail that, because it is a big part of it, I think, is one of the many elements of superhero fatigue is marketing. Marketing is a big problem right now, I think.
I do think they show too much. I feel like Fantastic Four is like pushing that line of like, they showed us everything of Galactus but his face. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you should have not. Just the back of that helmet was fine, or like a silhouette. You know what I mean?
Would have been perfect.
Been fine. Yeah. I wish they wouldn't have revealed so much. But they're doing it with Spider-Man. And again, Thunderbolts was good. Fantastic Four was good. They're both, in my own opinion, I think they're both great movies. I actually, like a week ago, rewatched Thunderbolts on the plane ride home. And I was like, this is a great movie, man. Like, I was like, I really like this movie. It's Red Guardian cracks me up. He's so funny. Like, he's like, you let out your dad. Don't go in. And they've like already gone in. I'm like, this is great. But
it's definitely like a Marvel at its roots movie kind of feel.
So.
Like, hey, let's start over and make a simple Marvel movie. Here you go.
Yeah, and you know what? I saw something recently. I think I have it right here. Excuse me. My Time to Shine Hello, insider in the community, says that Spider-Man Brand New Day is the biggest Spidey movie yet. Despite being more street level, it's even been described to me as Captain America the Winter Soldier for Spider-Man. That's saying something, because Captain America the Winter Soldier is regarded as one of the best MCU films of all time. So to say that we're going to get a Spider-Man movie that's like that is very interesting. Makes you wonder, we know it's going to be street level. We know there's going to be quite a few villains. So you just wonder.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening and don't necessarily, like, we use a lot of different insiders. We take notes and tabs from a lot of different insiders. Something I personally like a lot about My Time to Shine Hello, who doesn't have 100% accuracy. Nobody does.
Nobody does, right?
But they've always been very honest with their opinions about stuff that they've heard or projects that have come out or castings. So if it was something that wasn't exciting for them, because it is still an opinion, they would have shared that. They were like, oh, I've heard this about Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it's not going to be good. Like, so that is something that when that particular individual is like, hey, this is going to be good, this is what I've heard, like, it definitely gets me a little excited. We have different connections and relationships with these people that we get our sources from, we get information from. But that is one person in particular who I feel like does share very bluntly based off of the information. And they do have a pretty impressive track record.
Well, and even in today's time, actually, where rage bait is a big thing, you could get a lot of clicks, maybe even more clicks by saying something you've heard something is really bad, right?
Oh yeah, that's a big problem. That's a
Right. So
big problem.
yeah, there's a really big benefit to trashing something. So it's nice that
Yeah.
in this environment right now with the rage bait, we are hearing good things about it, and that's really high praise. Like, of
Yeah, we
course,
should
they're
title this
just filming
video.
now, right? So we don't know what the final product's going to be like. But one thing that we might know.
We should.
What?
I was just gonna say we should title this video something like Spider-Man would lose to some. I don't know. Sometimes trying to think of a good rage bait to get people to watch the video.
Well, actually, speaking, I was going to say let's go into Spider-Gwen or Gwen Stacy. I can't technically say Spider-Gwen yet, but speaking of that title and like rage bait and stuff, I already forgot the name, but box office analyst is saying that like, oh, Supergirl has a better chance of beating Spider-Man in the box office. I'm like, in what world?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy take.
It's a Spider-Man movie.
And I just finished saying what hill I was going to die on. So
well, and think about this: Superman's going to end the theatrical run at like 600,000, right? Give or take some.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl's not making more than Superman, right?
That was what I was about to ask. Do you think it could, like, do you think Superman paved the way for Supergirl, or is there a lot of truth to? But is there a lot of truth to what Feige was saying not long ago about, the problem is we've made projects for the wrong characters that people don't care about. And I'm not saying people don't care about Supergirl, but is anybody going to argue they care about her more than Superman?
Well, that's the whole thing. Yeah, and some people would argue. I would say, maybe especially women, they might argue that as well. But still, to this day, I think the fan base is still a lot more men than women. I wish there would be more women in it, but I think as it is right now, there are more men. So it's like, I don't know. I personally am really excited for Supergirl, but I don't see it doing better than Superman. Maybe in like this perfect world that I'm talking about right now, where it's like, hey, Superman was really good, and then like Peacemaker season 2 will be really good. Supergirl's going to be awesome. Let's all go watch Supergirl, and maybe it does outperform Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But like Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's hitting $1 billion just because it's Spider-Man, right? And then on top of
without
it,
even being good.
Right, exactly. Like it's just hitting $1 billion because parents take their kids to see it, right? Because they want to go see Spidey and Friends, especially if Gwen's in it, and if somehow she does end up as Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. Kids are going to want to go see her for sure. You know what I mean? What if the Venom symbiote's in it somehow? Right? You know what I mean? It's just like...
all possibilities.
It does have potential to hit $2 billion. Really.
Oh, absolutely.
And then maybe you throw something in with Doom. Right? And then it's like, done. Like
the entire course of this conversation was, I think Spider-Man's going to be a big turning point. And not only do I think it's going to be, it has to be. But there's multiple opportunities, just to wrap up the superhero fatigue, which I think we probably already did. But the nice thing about where Marvel is right now, and the fact that Feige's getting ahead of it, he's like, hey, whether you've loved the multiverse saga, hated multiverse saga, liked Ant-Man, hated Ant-Man, liked the Disney Plus project, doesn't matter. You got 3 or 4 more projects, and it's all starting over. So even if the next 3 or 4 movies are absolutely terrible, if Doomsday's just so bad that RDJ never acts again, again, worst case scenario, we still have 4 movies until, guess what, guys? We're bringing you back because you're going to want to know what happens next. And I think that's a huge fail-safe.
Oh, especially starting with the X-Men.
Exactly. Like, people want to know. Like, it doesn't matter how bad Doomsday is. Doesn't matter how bad Secret Wars could potentially be. Everybody's coming back. X-Men movie 1, day 1, scene 1, phase 1, whatever you want to call it. So they do have an insane fail-safe. I think they're trying to pick up the pieces. I think they're trying to put like a real end of the last 25 years of Marvel movies from all different franchises. It's a good swan song. It's going to be awesome.
Well, but I've said this and
I've said this in live streams before. I'm almost more excited for
the reset
phase 1, day 1 than I am for Secret Wars. And it's because I am really excited to rebuild with all of the characters, recast as many as possible, and really start over now with this new era of media and television. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it as well, but I definitely want to see how this all ends. But I say how it ends, but like what's so weird is I feel like Doom hasn't even begun yet. just
No,
because
that's
he's
the
you know what I mean? It's just like it's
he
like
showed up there for half a second.
yeah, I'm excited to see how it ends, but I'm really excited to see how we get into it.
How it
Like
starts too, yeah,
how
because
it
we still
starts.
haven't
Because
really
even with
started.
everything we've seen so far, and we won't really go into spoilers, but if you know, right? If you're listening and you
If you know, you
automatically
know.
know what we're talking about in your head, right? You just know. Uh,
We need
like
more.
besides that, yeah, it's just like man, you wonder about those other projects where it's like, is there a Doctor Strange 3 coming? Is there Shang-Chi 2? Is there a solo Scarlet Witch movie? Like,
If
what
not,
is
should there be?
right? That's a good question too. Should there be? Right? Because I do think there should be a Doctor Strange 3. And maybe that comes between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't know. Should there be a Thor 5? And should that involve Loki, right? A little bit more, right? Does Loki get dethroned in Avengers Doomsday, but he's still alive and he teams up with his brother Thor? And Thor 5 is about maybe Valhalla or something like that and the multiverse and etc. Like, I
Well,
don't know.
that goes back to that one question: are they rushing it a little too much just to get to
They're
the next page?
absolutely
Do they know
rushing
that
it.
they're just
Yeah.
picking up the pieces and they're like, let's just pick up the damage, move on, bring back some people, make some money, and start over? Because I think in a world where they did believe in it a little bit more, they would push it back another couple of years. They would give us Thor, they would give us Doctor Strange, they would give us the next Shang-Chi, and then we could really build into it. But I don't know, and it's potentially concerning. Like, are they almost like, hey, we just need to get
Let's
to the
get to
next
the
thing?
X-Men. Yeah, no, as you're saying that, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, Marvel might just be going, look,
Fail safe mode.
well, that's the thing is like we have our Robert Downey Jr. returning. He's going to bring people to the theaters,
Yep.
and maybe that's their plan. Hey, we're not going to really tell you anything about it. You're going to have to go watch Avengers Doomsday to go freaking find
You
out
know
what it's
enough.
about.
You know enough.
Right? We know what we're doing. We're not giving you anything. Maybe a cameo here and there, real quick. We'll tease them a little bit, but no, we're not giving you like what the story is. Go watch the movie. So where we have to, everybody has to go watch the movie, and they don't want to wait till it comes out on streaming because they're going to want to go figure it out. That's actually
Absolutely
a pretty decent plan. But I think a part
Yeah,
of them
I
are
don't think
rushing
this-
to maybe
get to the next
get
bit.
to the X-Men. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it is it's a clean slate. It really is for them. Even though some people
And I
will
hope they
survive.
make
And
it
I
as
know,
clean as possible.
well,
I
I know
hope they
you
make
would
it as
like it to
clean as
be.
possible.
I know you would just like everything
Slash
stops.
it.
Right?
Slash it.
Slash it. I know you would.
I
Just
would.
like
I would 100%.
every
I would.
single character recast and completely new.
You know what? I would have one or two. I don't know which one or two.
Really?
Maybe a Doctor Strange.
Or like
I want a
Deadpool because
connection.
of his fourth
Deadpool
wall
would be
breaking
great because he's
ability.
just yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Deadpool will be like. I feel like Deadpool still somehow will be outside of Marvel if they
Right,
continue
exactly.
past
So he
Secret Wars.
survives it somehow, right?
Yeah, just running around doing behind the scenes things, and that's fine. He can connect with whoever he wants that way without messing up anything, and that's just so super Deadpool. But I don't know who, but I would like one connection, somebody. It would probably need to be a Doctor Strange type to hold the role of
Sure.
keeper of the secrets or knower of the past or whatever his title could possibly be. And it's like
Sure.
he references the past, and he's like, people come to him for wisdom on how to build a new universe because.
Right.
But I don't know. It's
That's actually a really cool idea, actually.
Yeah. Doctor Strange sits in his citadel and he's knower of all or something.
But I think you get that even with a decent amount of characters still passing over, because again, I've stated this in a few videos. I think it's almost like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it happens in the comics for Marvel as well. We get this new universe. Few people remember the past. Mm-hmm. Most people won't remember Battle World, the universe before. They'll only remember what they're in now. So I still
and they'll
think we
perceive
get
it as their history,
right? And I still think so. I still think you get what we're talking about. It's like Strange remembers, right? And maybe like Peter Parker remembers because maybe it's like a Spidey sense thing or something like that. And or maybe there's a Molecule Man type person, Franklin Richards, who enables a few people to remember. And I do hope we get callbacks, like we're like phase 9, 10 in, and Strange will be like, I know what happened before this universe began. You don't want to do this.
The first Ultron.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, it would be really cool. And it's always a mixed bag. I'd say one of the things I wrestle internally with the most is, do I want to see Tom Holland be done after Secret Wars? Because I really like Tom Holland as an actor. I like him as a person. I like him as Spider-Man. But he gonna be old for Spider-Man. Like he is. Like,
well,
he's talking about going and doing James Bond and whatever. Like go do that. Like move on and give us a young Spider-Man. Because here's the problem. Okay, Tom Holland stays and does another 2-3 movies as Spider-Man and passes the mantle to Miles Morales, who will be some young kid. Great. But now what? That's Spider-Man done for the next 20 years?
So. Yeah, no, yeah, I think so.
That's not okay. And I don't think that'll be okay for Disney either. So I think what they're going to do is start trying to mess it up. Yeah, you got to have a Peter. Now, whether Tom Holland's just going to be old Peter and then Mayday and like he just... But do people want that?
Cool. That would be cool.
Does Tom Holland want that? Do people want that?
Go old, be old, bring in Mayday.
So that would be the only way where I'm like, yeah, sure, keep Tom Holland, but he's doing this till he's 90. You know, like keep him there, and I'll get Grandpa Spider.
Keep him.
Exactly.
Hugh Jackman him.
They'll keep him for 2 or 3 movies and have him pass the mantle down to Morales, which would be great. But they'll still want a Peter. So what's the plan? We're just going to have a different universe open up and drop off a Peter?
Yeah, no, he should grow old in the MCU. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, Tom Holland has expressed that he does want to pass.
He doesn't want to do that.
On.
Exactly.
He specifically said Miles. And so I think the future of Spider-Man is, well, Gwen, if Sadie Sink really is Gwen, and Miles.
But is that enough?
Maybe.
That's the very because
it won't be for some people.
Right. But for the problem really, is it enough for Disney? Because the second they realize Miles isn't going to pull in Spider-Man numbers, they're going to start messing with timelines and open up multiverse portals to bring Spider-Man in and screw everything up.
I don't know.
Which is something I don't want to hear.
Might be able to pull those numbers in.
They might be,
but
they very well might be.
But here's the thing: you don't actually have to you don't have to kill Tom Holland. You can have him come back randomly as Peter Parker.
True.
You know, there could be. You know, he introduces Miles. He trains Miles. You have a Miles movie. You have a Miles and Gwen movie. Then you have another Miles movie, and he's like, doesn't know what to do. I know who I have to turn to. Tom Holland's back as Peter Parker, right? Just like Toby and Andrew came back, right? So they don't. No,
and that's
Tom Holland
movie,
doesn't have to
10
go
years.
anywhere, right? You don't have to kill him for him to be done playing the character. I would leave it open because till you're 90, right? You know what I mean? And like what we talked about today, you know,
they're still bringing Toby back too,
right? Exactly. Yeah, right. Tom Holland's gonna be 80 and Toby's gonna be 100 years old. They coming back.
Hugh Jackman will be 130 and he'll still be showing up.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, we talked today in our video that we did. Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds wanted to kill Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine, and
Disney
Feige
said no.
was like, you know, we're gonna hold on to him.
Seems like there's a lot of money here.
That might have been where that "till you're 90" joke came in. That might have actually been where it stemmed from. Right.
Yeah.
Deadpool wanting to, or Ryan wanting to kill Deadpool, but the studio saying no, we want him to be in other stuff for a while.
Yeah. No, I think all of that really encapsulates the excitement of the next couple movies that are going to come out. They're going to be, for a lot of people, hit or miss. They're going to be like, oh, I don't care. I want to move on. Because I'm sure other people feel that way as well. They're ready for X-Men. They're ready for the new Marvel. Especially now that Feige's like legitimately confirmed it, which I'm glad he did. Because I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off of Doomsday and off of Secret Wars. Just a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit of pressure off of because we know we're getting somewhere. Like there is a path. We know where Secret Wars ends with, you know, the new beginning. And that's fantastic, you know.
That's how it ends.
Yeah, a little poof, and that's where we're going, and we know that, and we're really excited to see how we get there because, frankly, that path hasn't even started yet, and we got 4 movies to figure it out. Maybe 4 movies, maybe not even, right? So,
I don't know.
Yeah, deep
it's
breath.
All really exciting. It's all real exciting.
Very exciting.
Like the potential is there, right? The potential is there if Marvel can pull it off, and you know what? I think the past 2 movies have shown that they can.
They want to.
They're being serious about that. Sure. And I mean, they got, it seems like they figured something out. Hopefully they stick with it. And hopefully it's good. Thing with Spider-Man so far, moving on to Gwen. No, what was that?
Oh, no, you're good. Moving on to Gwen.
Just moving on to Gwen. I don't think it's officially confirmed yet. Let me check here. Cause I just are you
going to talk about the picture?
Yeah.
I've seen the picture. I don't think it's her.
Okay.
That's my opinion. From the one picture I've seen, I don't know what else is out there. I saw the one picture of the back of her head. Everybody's like, it's her. I don't think it's her. I don't think they're nonchalantly chucking her out there like that. This is all very calculated. Like, this filming that they're doing is extremely, extremely calculated.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think they're just
thinking
chucking her
too.
out there like that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, they know everybody's standing there with camera. Like, they're encouraging it. Like, Tom Holland's walking up to the crowd and like taking selfies and pictures with people. There's no way something that important that My Time to Shine Hello said yesterday. Like, I know who it is, but it's a massive spoiler for me to tell you, so I'm not going to reveal it yet.
Interesting.
They're just going to throw her out in the street. I don't think that makes sense in my brain. If they do that, it's a really weird move.
Yeah, the outfit though is the thing. The outfit does kind of look like.
Perhaps they're smart enough to know that too, and they stuffed
I
a
wouldn't be surprised
boomstick
if
operator
they're
in a.
doing fake stuff.
That's
Is
one
the thing. Yeah, no, totally wouldn't be
exactly.
surprised if they're doing
All
fake
eyes
stuff.
are on that street, right? Everybody in the world is watching that street. They can manipulate and do whatever they want. Like, here's something Gwen would probably wear, and here's like
Right.
a wig. Go wear this and hold the microphone. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to tell. For the audio listeners, it's literally just a picture of a woman from behind, and another woman is
Standing next to
actually
Tom
kind
Holland.
of covering a decent amount of her body as well. And she's blonde, and she's wearing looks like either like a large sweatshirt with a skirt on, and you can't see her face at all. You literally can't see her
And it
face
doesn't
at all.
even look like they're filming in this image. They're like setting up to film. So they're like a bunch of people walking around the
Yeah, she
set.
might just be
Is
crew.
what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
and I think, Sony's smart enough, Disney's smart enough. They know what this has been one of the most calculated live sets that they've ever done. Like, there are too many instances that are unique to this movie specifically. Let's release the suit real quick before we go in the street. Let's have Tom
right. They've
Holland
gotten
walk up and
ahead of
take
it.
pictures with people.
Mhm.
Like, they know what they're doing here, and I don't think they're throwing what has been probably the biggest speculated secret about this movie into the middle of the street when they know that that's how that's going to go out. They would have made their own press release, especially Sony. Sony likes to have the attention on them. They like to be the ones to.
Yeah, they don't let like Marvel do anything. They do it themselves.
No, they want to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't personally believe it, whether it's some trickery or coincidence, but I also really want her to be Mayday, so I might just be in denial.
Dude, that's who I want her to be. I want her to be Mayday
That's my
Parker,
pick is
and I
Mayday.
specifically
I'll be
want her to
disappointed.
Toby's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I don't remember where somebody on our live streams that we do commented that one time, and it was ingrained in my head from that point forward. I don't even remember who it was, but we were doing the live streams and we were talking about Sadie Sink, and somebody was like, maybe she's Mayday Parker.
John
and
Branco reported that. I think.
And it's just been stuck in my head since.
Like I don't even care about the report.
That's what I want.
It's something I want. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just want it. Like, that would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm a massive Toby fan.
I also think she'd just be perfect for the role.
It'd be really cool. I like Sadie Sink a lot, actually.
And to me, it's just kind of like, why get rid of the hair that's like such a big part of who she is? Like that really bright red hair, right? That's such like a defining characteristic. Put her in a spot, cast her as a character who has that hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. That's why a lot of people like, I think like at first people were like, oh, she's Jean Grey. And I think I saw something like yesterday where it's like somebody, I don't want to say who in case I get it wrong, but one, like an insider was like, oh, I'm hearing it's Jean Grey. I'm like, what? In this
I heard the craziest. It was an outlandish theory today. It was an outlandish theory I read today. I don't know if it was an insider who it was. I'd never seen the account before, but it was Professor X sends her to study anchor beings because he's discovered their existence in the multiverse, and he's trying to study anchor beings, and he sends her to get intel on him. What's so special about Tom Holland to make him an anchor being?
That would actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the only way that makes sense, though.
I mean, not the only way it makes sense. The multiverse is going to be collapsing. Incursions are going to happen, right? The boundaries between universes.
The only way the movie has a nice story flow to it. How about that?
I think that would actually, well, if you think about it, the anchor being thing, that seems to be pretty important, right? Deadpool and Wolverine made that very clear that that's important. And there's been like a leak out there that said like Doom is going to try to kill anchor beings. So it actually would be really cool because Doom is, RDJ, looks like Tony Stark. He has to kill Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So Peter has to fight him. And that's like, and it's a hard thing because he looks
after
he
like probably trusts him.
Tony Stark. Right. And he could probably trick him.
Like, it's all writing itself, realistically.
No, really. Like, and so, yeah, maybe Professor X catches on to this. And
needs to protect him to keep the structure.
Her, to check it out. I would actually love that. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually really like that to happen. If you're out there
No.
listening, whoever came up with this theory, that's a great one. Kudos to you.
No. I want Mayday.
I mean, I want Mayday too. Variants exist. She can play both. We're in the multiverse. Have her
But no,
play
I did
both.
see that, and I was reading it, and I'm like, you know
That's a
what?
cool one.
That's kind of the multiverse stuff we need, though. Even if it's like a post-credit scene. But I think if Sadie Sink only shows up the post-credit scene, that'd be pretty disappointing for most people. That'd be like a Red Hulk type thing.
Oh, you can't do that, man. No.
So it's like, yeah. So there's a lot of moving parts, and they're still calling this. All the insiders are still calling this a grounded movie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, if I'm being completely honest, but we'll see. I just don't think it can be.
I think going
It's
right
the
into
movie coming out
Doomsday,
before
at least the
Doomsday,
ending
and we
has
have
to be
nothing.
something. Right.
We
But
have
then again,
nothing.
like I said, maybe Marvel is just like, hey, we're not going to tell you anything about Doom. We're not going to reveal anything. We're going to do it in Doomsday. Go watch it.
He's RDJ. That's all you know.
Right? Go
What
watch
if there's
freaking
like
RDJ be the villain now. And that could
What if
work.
there's like a 15-minute post-credit scene?
That would be cool too. That would totally change it up.
That would actually be really, really cool.
The
Spider-Man movies.
You don't even have to make it a post-credit scene. Like I can't believe I'm saying this. Like the Marvels did something kind of cool where they gave us the end, Kamala Khan recruiting the Young Avengers. That was like very separate-ish from the movie because it's still Kamala Khan. But it was like a post-credit scene in the movie. You could almost do that.
So it was just an out. No,
Right.
yeah, but it would be really, really cool if you get there and there's like 10 minutes of Doom at the very, very end of the credits, and it's like
It would be
flashes
cool.
in, and it's like somewhere in a different universe, and then
Right,
Doom
yeah.
does
Meanwhile,
like a
it's
10-minute
like-
montage of why he's pissed off,
Right.
and that's all you get, and it's like, whoa.
I think it would actually be cool if they like end it. Tom Holland's Peter Parker defeats the villain. We have the Hulk, Punisher, Jean Grey maybe, Mayday Parker maybe, and then it ends, and it seems like the movie's gonna end, but then they hit you with like a 6 months later or something like that, and then it's like multiverse, like their universes, like boundaries are being like broken by the other universe, something like that, and then it's like
It would be cool if it just ended with like an incursion beginning.
something like that. Yeah, I think it would be cool if it ended like Doctor Doom shows up, he takes off his mask, Peter sees him, he's like, Mr. Stark, and then it just ends like that. Because then you don't really,
There's a lot of ways they
you
could do
could
it.
get a first look at Doom that way, but you don't have to really reveal anything. Because I think just
But as somebody who is tired of all the weight put on post-credit scenes, realistically, like that's all anybody wants to talk about at the end of movies, as somebody who genuinely feels that way, I will openly say that the Spider-Man post-credit scene might be the most important post-credit scene in the history of the MCU.
I mean, probably going right into Doomsday, especially like we have nothing so far.
We have nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
I mean, what's interesting is Marvel they might show us something on YouTube. Like
That'd be
chair
cool
video,
too. That'd be cool.
right?
Also, chair video maybe coming up.
Yeah.
One of the greatest streams in this channel's history. Hopefully we get something else like that again. That was fun.
Well, I don't know if it actually was the biggest stream. The WandaVision days of watch parties were crazy, man. Especially that WandaVision finale. We'll have to look back on that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot for Marvel. I mean, and Spider-Man is, I think it's like we have the Thunderbolts was great. Fantastic Four was great. Spider-Man's just going to be over the top. And then all that hype's going to be so high, and then the build up to Doomsday, it's just going to be crazy. I think it's all about to come back. And same thing for
it's
DC.
gonna be so exciting.
Same thing for DC. I can't tell you how excited I am for Peacemaker season 2. And now they're going right into it, exploring the multiverse as well, right? Pocket dimensions,
And they're making
everything.
changes to like the canon from season 1, which is really important,
cool,
with
too.
like changing out the Justice League. Like
Right.
that's just good calls from James Gunn, and I think James Gunn has earned a lot of respect. But I was actually thinking this while we were talking here, and I'm glad we switched back to DC. Superman was well received. I think Supergirl was going to be very, very well received. Peacemaker, it's in a league of its own, and it's connecting, and they're doing a really good job with all that. And I like James Gunn's approach to we're not making a movie until it's good. When we do finally get around to Batman in this universe,
My favorite
it's
character.
gonna be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's gonna be like I'm glad we didn't start with Batman, because when we get there in a universe that now has some excitement and has some attention, maybe I will be corrected about my Spider-Man theory, but I'm telling you what, it's gonna be big.
That's not a theory.
Like I
That's
hope
your
they nail the
opinion.
casting.
That is your opinion.
No,
That
I'm
Spider-Man's
still
the
standing on
biggest.
that. I'm still
Right.
that's not
a
gonna
theory.
change.
That's how you feel. That's your opinion.
No, it's a theory. It's a straight up. It's a theory.
Theory about
I have
how
a
I
theory
feel, okay?
that Spider-Man. I have this theory that Spider-Man is the biggest. Um, but I do think the
Great theory,
Batman is
Chris.
going to be.
Great theory.
But that's the end of the theory, though. But I do think Batman in this James Gunn world is. I'm so curious who they pick for him. I don't even know. Like, don't even ask me who I want to do it because I have no idea. But I want it to just be so dark and so crazy and so fun.
I don't know how people feel about this, but I'm actually all for Robert Pattinson just being the main DC's Batman. I'm for it. I get
just
how
think
the
there's so
tone,
much hype around not knowing and like
I
building
get
it.
it, and I get the tone of the Batman isn't the tone of Superman, but James Gunn already said a lot of these projects are the tone's going to be different. It's not going to be the same feel for everything. And I don't know, I just really love Robert Pattinson's Batman, man.
I do. I'm very excited to see the second one. Like very excited. The first one was really good.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a very long time since we've got that. Like a very, very long time. But no, I don't know. I just think the opportunity for building that hype around, oh, who's Batman? I mean, how many videos and
Right.
conversations are we going to
of
have?
course.
Oh, who's
Right.
going to be Batman this way?
Yeah.
There's so much free publicity, so much excitement. If he comes out and he's like, you know what, we've decided we're just going to grab this Batman and make him, it's just a big loss of potential. And I think James Gunn wants to have like a direct say in the Batman thing. Like one thing I'm definitely picking up from James Gunn is he's definitely wanting to be like the center in charge guy
Oh,
of
of course.
everything.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been the guy who had anything to do with Robert Pattinson in that story. So there probably is a little bit of like a pride thing going on there where he's like, nope, I want my Batman that I'm okaying with my story and my suit. And there's a lot of pride there for James Gunn, and rightfully so. He's done fantastic with the projects he's been given, from Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, all the way to the MCU stuff. I mean, all the stuff's been.
The Suicide Squad.
Sorry. The details.
Got to differentiate the two.
Warren has a the theory.
I have a the theory. No, what you said is true because I don't know. A lot of truth to what you said, where it's like building it up, creating the costume, all of that. You don't really. It's true. You don't get to do that with Robert Pattinson's. I mean, they did it before, right? But James Gunn wasn't involved, so he
but
probably
now it's like
does
in this universe too. So
right, exactly. Yeah, he probably does. But I still think there is a very small chance now. I think before I thought there was a bigger chance that Robert Pattinson could be the main one, but now I think it's a slim chance, right? And James Gunn would probably have to wake up and be like, "Screw it, let's make him." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but then they have to completely reshoot the second movie or like something crazy like that. So
yeah, and they've already deemed it Elseworlds and everything like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I think he's also taking a lot of action and steps into making sure the universe is cohesive. You know, they're going to be taking a pretty crazy step in Peacemaker, like already opening up the whole multiverse thing where Peacemaker's shooting Peacemaker, whether it's time travel. Like, that's a pretty crazy direction to start in your fourth project.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're establishing it so that they have it, and maybe they're going to slowly set up rules, which is something Marvel really didn't do because we still don't know the multiversal laws. They just change every project. So I don't know. I think James Gunn's a very, very meticulous guy who knows the source material, who loves the source material, who makes me like his involvement makes me more excited for DC as somebody who typically sways more Marvel. So yeah, no, it's going to be great stuff all around, and I do love Batman. So I mean,
right. Well, that takes me into some theories and some questions that we got from our Discord server, and as we go into the podcast each week, we're gonna ask for input from you all. You can dictate some of the topics that we talk about on this. So please be as involved as you want to. We want you to be very involved.
Link to Discord's below.
We're going to put it below. This is coming from Mega Beast in my Discord. Talking about DC. Could it possibly overthrow Marvel as like, you know, the franchise? Right? Because Marvel has always been on top. DC is, you know, been second or third or whatever you want to say it's been, but Marvel's typically been better. Now, is DC going to be better? I actually think they're going to be right on par with each other because what DC is doing right now with the whole reboot and all these new characters being introduced to cast and everything, Marvel's about to do that with the X-Men. And when they reset the MCU. So I think the hype going into Avengers Doomsday is going to be crazy. We're going to be coming off Spider-Man. Spider-Man hype is already there, right? And right now, DC with Supergirl and Peacemaker Season 2, I think a lot of hype is there. And then James Gunn's talking about Wonder Woman and Batman and everything. Once we get to the Batman, like you said, like hype's going to be really starting to go up, and Wonder Woman as well. And then imagine a Justice League movie, right? It's like, or Justice Gang movie.
If it's done right.
Right, exactly. But then we go into, with Marvel, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and then you go into the X-Men and everything. Like, I actually think they're going to be right on par with each other.
To build on that comment, and it's a really, really good thing. That's the great first comment to take from the Discord in the first episode, because I think that's one of the most relevant topics right now. And it's always the big, who's going to win in this fight and who's better at the. I think we're at a unique point in media history where they actually need each other.
I think so too. I think
Marvel needs DC to survive, and vice versa. Like, they need each other to continue to build hype around the entire genre, to demonstrate it's not superhero fatigue.
Right.
Like, hey, we've woken up, we've listened to what you said. We've got James Gunn, we got Feige back up. Like, watch what's about to happen, and let's all have fun. And I've always been anti let's do a DC MCU collab, but if there's anybody that could make it possible, it's James Gunn. Like, even more than Feige, it would be James Gunn for me.
I think so.
They need each other. It's not who's going to win. It's if one fails, they're both going to have a very rocky next couple of years financially. And money is the reason all of this happens to begin with.
Of course, they're businesses. People have to realize that, of course, right? Fortunately for us, I do think Gunn and Feige really do care. You can tell the amount of care that James Gunn is just putting into everything, which is great to see. And it looks like Feige is back to just dealing with the movies and doing that again as well. But I agree. I think just superhero movies in general being great helps other superhero movies. So the two of them can be side by side, and we don't have to be a DC or Marvel fan. You can be both. I have been both my entire life.
With great power comes great. I am Batman.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I think the future's really, really bright. Next one from Chivano. Basically, we kind of covered this already, but talking about like the Marvel flopping topic. Marvel, we mentioned this before, but just to kind of like wrap it up, Marvel's in a really weird spot where they did put out a lot of kind of mid things. So people might kind of have that feeling of mid, but Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, they didn't do amazing at the box office. And again, we don't really know if they made money or not. But they were good, great, fantastic movies. And I think that is going to build to more people going to watch Spider-Man. Like, people are going to watch Spider-Man, right? So the question is Marvel flopping. It's like, no. The Thunderbolts weren't very well-known characters, and you did have to do homework to go see that movie. And the Fantastic Four, I don't think they're as big as a lot of people think they are. Like, we've had previous Fantastic Four movies, but they're not on the scope of Superman or Batman or Spider-Man or Iron Man and Captain America at this point in time, or the Hulk even, right? And I can't remember, like Louis Despacito said it or something like that, or Bob Iger, somebody at Marvel and Disney said they believe the next one's going to be a lot more successful. Yeah, I believe so too, because this movie was great, and more people will know about it next time, especially after watching it on streaming, and they're going to go watch that movie. So yeah, I don't think like Marvel's dead. I don't think anything's ever dead. You can always redeem yourself, right? But you mentioned in the beginning,
it takes one or two good movies, right?
Well, right, but it takes time, like you mentioned in the beginning. It will take time. You can't just have one great movie, two great movies, and it's like, oh, you got the casual audience back. They have faith in you again and trust you to make a good movie. No, it's going to take a few. But so I don't think anything's ever dead. I mean, look at DC. Everyone thought like it was just terrible towards the end of the DCEU, but now look at where we're at. DC is amazing, right? At least what we've seen so far.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all about the perception of excitement, everything. And it comes to a million different degrees of information. Where are we now? Where are we going? How is that being translated to all audiences, not just hardcore fans, and I think the overall thing that DC is doing really well is they're bringing joy into their movies in a world where everybody's exhausted by negativity and the fun. And I hope Marvel actually picks up on that tone a little bit. I mean, you look at the color grading between Man of Steel and Superman 2025. Right. Like, one's like, whoa, and one's like, hi. And I think that people are just so exhausted and overstimulated by the negativity. Yeah. And Superman is the perfect character to surround that positivity and that hope, obviously, for.
Right.
But I think that's something that Marvel might need to start picking up on is the overall just exhaustion of being a normal human being on this planet right now, and going to these movies to escape depression and to escape the negativity and the dark tones. And we do want that happiness. That's what I want to spend my money on, is feeling happy, not anything else.
Totally. No, yeah. And I've always been just like movies are escapism for me, right? Don't get me wrong, I like an exception, right? That makes me think a little bit. But I do like to get away from it all, right? I don't want any real life like political agendas thrown into these movies, because it's like I deal with that. We
Deal
see
with that all
crap
day,
all
every
the time
day.
in real life. I don't want it in my escape movies. Yeah.
Exactly true.
Yeah. So good futures all around. DC and Marvel. And Matt James from Discord again wants us to kind of talk about the theory of Doom disguising himself as Tony Stark, which is a theory that I like because I think it's a very Doctor Doom thing to do. Especially, you'd have to figure out, we're going to bypass this part, but we're going to say somehow Doctor Doom figures out, Tony Stark was a hero of this 616 universe or something, right? And obviously he can't pretend, well, he could pretend to actually be him, but that would be hard considering he died. But, being Doom, don't put it past him to figure out everything. And then we kind of talked about it before, but like buddy up with Peter Parker, buddy up with Doctor Strange, right? Even though I do think Doctor Strange is probably the one who might say the Fantastic Four are going to be the people who say, no, he's bad. But that might be a big conflict for Peter. Well, no, like he's always been
right.
good.
I don't even know who these people are.
He's trying to save the multiverse. Like Mr. Stark was a great guy and he's a variant of him. And then Mr. Fantastic's like, that's not Tony, it's Doom. But it's hard when it looks just like him. Like that's Victor Von Doom, not Tony Stark. But that's part of like the greatness of this. I'm one of the people who am for Robert Downey Jr. returning. So it's like, I really like this. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I remember when we found out, and obviously Warren and I did talk every single day about Marvel stuff, and we're back and forth and sending pictures, and did you see this? And I remember specifically when they revealed RDJ, which kind of came out of left field a little bit. Like the hype was there for me, like super exciting, like on its own, super exciting. And there's been so many questions around, is this RDJ's Iron Man variant pretending to be a bad guy for some reason? Is it actually Doom, born in Latveria Doom? Like what's the story here? And the only thing I can continuously remember when we discuss this in live streams or when I'm going over my own thoughts on it is, why bring him back to not use him? Why bring him back to not use his face? I understand it's really exciting to bring him back and it's going to build a lot of buzz, but there's something deeper there. And to be a fly on the wall in the conversations that Kevin Feige and RDJ had about, here's what the goal is, here's what we want to accomplish, what's the vision, let's bounce ideas back and forth. Like there's a scheme going on here, and whether that is, I've thrown Doctor Doom's consciousness into a Iron Man variant and pretended to be him to get his face, to get 616 people to trust me because he was the anchor being and hero, or not. Like that's a really good story, and it can be super compelling. But I hope they don't choose to do that cheaply either.
Sure. No,
but it would be really cool to know if RDJ isn't Doom in Doomsday because they reveal there is actually a different Doom.
Right. Yeah.
Like that'd be kind of crazy. Like that'd be really, really cool.
That's the theory some people have. You know what I mean? I've seen.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty bulletproof theory. Like I think it could work if that's the direction they wanted to go. Whether they go that way or not.
I was gonna say, it's not bulletproof in the fact that like it's gonna happen. It is in the fact that they could do it.
No, bulletproof in it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's bulletproof in the sense that it makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. But
yeah, good.
You talk about like cheapening it. Like would that be cheap if they're like Robert Downey?
I think it would cheapen the return of RDJ just to use him as a meat puppet. Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he is Doom.
Yeah. And that's like the deciding thing, like the morality of it, or it's just like with the Gwen thing. It's like, I don't think that could be Gwen because I don't think that they would do that, but maybe they would, like maybe they are kind of dumb sometimes. I don't know. But I think bringing RDJ to be a meat puppet for the real Doom would be really cheap.
Yes.
And I don't think that would do RDJ any favors. And I honestly don't think he'd come back for that. I think if that's like, hey, you're going to come back and pretend to be Doom, I don't think he would.
Well, and they're not going to pay him what they're paying him to do that, I don't think.
Exactly. So do I think the theory is bulletproof and the idea and the story? Yes. Do I think it's likely? Probably not. I don't think RDJ's coming back for that to be his legacy. I was taken over by Doom, and I was used to lie to all my friends, and then I end up dying. And there's a real Doom that's not me. Like I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Maybe.
I don't either.
Maybe.
But him being real Doom, disguising himself as Tony Stark, something that could totally happen, and it's a very Doom thing to do. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Very Doom thing to do.
Yeah. Well, dang, right at an hour, pretty much, for our very first one that we're going to be doing each week. For the most part, I'm sure at some point in the history of this podcast, something might happen where we both have to miss a week. But for the most part, we want to do at least one a week, possibly even two a week. Depends. We're also going to go live as well once a week. So depends on how much workload we have, how much news is out that week.
Depends on the news that week. Yeah,
we have to do on top of everything as well. But please go ahead and let us know what you think, what you thought about this first one. And remember, podcast name, community name, podcast name, whatever you can come up with.
Podcast name. I have a theory.
But I have a theory. That's actually not bad.
That's not that bad.
That's a very specific name. That's a very specific name, right? That's a very specific one. We'd have to only talk about theories, right? we would basically be our buddies, just the no buddies.
Yeah.
Talk about theories. Community name, Cosmic Crew, I think was one that people really were fond of. Cosmic Fam was another one. We used to be the Wolfpack. Whatever else.
Bring some new ones.
Yeah, bring some new ones. And
we'll see something one day and it'll be like, that's the one.
Right, exactly. Yeah. If you're new, thanks for joining us today. Hope you subscribe. Hope you liked it. If not, thanks for being here and sticking through this long. If you're listening right now, please give this a thumbs up. It definitely helps the video. And we'll be back maybe this week, but definitely next week. So thanks, everybody. Peace.